Yep.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be around the world. I know we certainly are enjoying, this week. I mean, it's only Tuesday, but I'm going to tell you,
Right.
it's a grand week, okay? It's a
Yeah.
grand week. I mean, there's so much excitement in the air. There's so many connections. There's so many wonderful people that
Yeah.
we're meeting and different things of that nature. Even though
Mhm.
it may be raining on the outside, I'm telling you, Tiffany, it's raining like cats and dogs out there, okay? And it's been raining since yesterday. But you know what?
Mhm.
That's not
Mhm.
what brings the happiness. That's not
Mhm.
what brings the joy. That's not
Uh-huh.
what brings the excitement. It
Yeah.
all comes from the inside of us. You know,
Right. Come
it
on.
comes from the inside of us. We
Yeah.
set the stage, authors. You got to know this in yourself that you set the stage.
You
You
said
set
it.
the atmosphere. You
Mhm.
change it. You are
Mhm.
a change maker. Okay?
Mhm.
You are
Mhm.
a change maker. When your
Right.
message get out there, it's supposed to transform your readers.
Come
You got to know
on.
this. You
You're
got to know
right.
this.
You're
And
right.
with that being said, let me introduce myself. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach you how to maximize your potential, how to stop
Mhm.
leaving money on the table. And I do this through helping you write your book. So, you don't be confused how to get started or, not knowing what to put in that book. Or maybe you're thinking about, well, I just don't know what to do. I'm just so confused. I just don't
Mhm.
know how to start doing this. Well, I take all of that, those questions away from you and show you a simple way to write your book to get your message
Right.
out there
Mhm.
to your ideal audience. And
Mhm.
also avoid making those costly mistakes that will
Yeah.
leave your book sitting in the corner, in boxes, in the garage,
Right.
collecting dust, deteriorating. So go
Right.
on, Tiffany, introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I am super grateful to be here. I have this attitude of gratitude that I am able to inhale, exhale, and breathe. And the fact that I can do that, it feels great. So I'm super happy to be here. Millions, I shouldn't say that. No, let me do that because I was getting ready to start singing. Millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did. I can't help it. I
Mhm.
just got music in me. Nevertheless, I am Tiffany Rochelle. I am an author, a heart goal, and a life coach. Um, and what I do is I help you to rid the toxins from your heart. Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks everything that's inside of this thing here. All of our inclinations, all of our feelings, that all gets bottled up inside this heart. And whatever's in your heart, this is how my heart is feeling. I'm going to tell
Mhm.
you it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's going on. So how did this flow? So we want to make sure that we have a pure heart and that, I mean, will things happen? Absolutely it will. However, what flows from here, life flows from here. So we got to make sure
Mhm.
that it's a clean thing. It's functioning in its healthy capacity. Our heart helps us to function. That's our lifeline right there. So if this isn't healthy, then the things that come from us isn't going to be the healthiest thing. I don't want bitterness to flow from you. But that's what I do. I help you to rid those toxins. You're going to go through a good old detox with me. And so, but I primarily deal with women. However, there are men that I help with that too. So what comes from your heart matters, and it also matters to
Yes.
me. And then I did write a book, so I choose me. That is, my allergies are acting up today, so please forgive.
Mhm.
But I wrote a book called I Choose Me, and that's something that I am really adamant about individuals doing is
Yes.
choosing themselves. Because the unfortunate thing is we put a lot of people on a high pedestal, and we make sure that they're good. But the catch is secure your air first. Make sure you're good. So it's okay to choose you. It's okay to be what they call selfish and choose
Mhm.
you. So, but I'm super grateful that everyone has decided to tune in. If you will, go ahead and show us that you care by sharing this broadcast with a friend or a fellow coworker or neighbor or family member. Feel free to drop your comments into the chat. And we'll go ahead and make sure that we stay in communication with you. But let somebody know that it's time to turn their passion into a profit. So we're getting ready to get this off so we can go ahead and finish the rest of this year off strong.
Finish it off strong. Good
Finish
morning,
it.
Tommy. How you doing this morning?
Hey,
Thank you for
Tommy.
joining us today. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have,
Yeah.
our, how would you say this? Our coaches, huh?
Yeah, it
Our
is.
coaches, our winning coaches,
Uh-huh.
to drop by the studio and drop by the broadcast, put it that way. Tommy and
Oh, yeah.
Sean over on the
Yes.
coaches corner.
It
But
means a lot.
it means a lot. It means a lot. Yeah, it definitely means a lot. And
Yeah.
today we're going to talk, to those authors about the power of their
Mhm.
message and different things like that. Just like, as I said, a
Mhm.
lot of times people don't realize what's on the inside of them.
Yeah.
They're looking at a dreary day, okay?
Uh-huh.
A
Mhm.
dreary day that's raining like cats and dogs, and they're looking for something on the outside of them to
Mhm.
make a difference in their lives when
Yeah.
it's on the inside.
It's in here.
It's on the inside that's going to make a difference.
Mhm.
Concentrate
Mhm.
authors on what's on the inside of you.
Yeah.
What's on the inside of you? The power of your message, because
Yeah.
your message truly has power. And
Mhm.
we're talking to you about this. Taking
Yeah.
your message into those deep dives, not
Mhm.
talking about the surface thing, but
Right, right, right.
allowing your creativity to
Mhm.
flow from your core.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it into
Mhm.
that deep area, because
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
what your audience truly needs in this
Mhm.
time, in this
Yeah.
season, in this hour.
Mhm.
They don't need a little dab of do you. They need that message that's going to
Mhm.
truly transform
Mhm.
their lives. And
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
transformation, Tiffany, is what's
Mhm.
so important.
It is very
What's
important.
so important.
Yeah.
And a
Uh-huh.
lot of times, authors don't want to go there because, you know,
Mhm.
they just are afraid. Sometimes they're afraid because they
Mhm.
don't want to take that leap. They don't want to take that jump. They're not sure of
Man.
themselves,
Right.
and
Right.
so they
Right.
leave things out where they should have included it in the message. They
Uh-huh.
should have
Mhm.
included that in the message. Yeah,
Mhm.
the
Mhm. They
power of
sure
the message, because a
should.
message truly has power, and it's the
Mhm.
way that the author sets it up that's going to
Right.
carry through. Okay,
True.
you just can't
True.
come to a day like this. Oh, it's raining outside, and get allowing your feelings to get in the way. Well, I'm
Right.
just gonna drag through life.
Mhm.
No, because what's gonna happen there? It's gonna drag that message.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna
Right.
drag not only that mess, that whole book, that whole project.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have to first.
Mhm.
We have to change our mindsets as an author.
Mhm.
You have to change your
Yeah.
mindset. You
Yeah.
know, you have to change how you're seeing things, how you feel
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
yourself, in order not
Mhm.
to translate that into your
Mhm.
message. Because
Mhm.
if you start it off dragging, guess what? That whole book is going to be a drag. That
Man.
whole book is going
Mhm.
to be a drag.
True.
You know,
True. You set the tone for that.
you set
Yeah.
the tone. You
You
set
said
the
you
tone.
don't, and please don't set that on no dragging note, because you definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to. I hate watching I'm saying for a movie, but I hate watching a movie that is kind of like slow. And I'm like, I'll start getting on my phone. I'll go playing, and don't let it be like on a date with somebody, and they're like, "You're not paying attention to the movie, man. It's kind of slow." Like when it start picking up, I'll start paying attention, or whatever. But I hate something that gets off to a slow start. Now, if it sometimes it will turn around and it'll start picking up, and
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, now, okay, all right, here we go. It's a
Yeah.
good thing. But then there's a time that it starts off slow, it continues on slow, and I'm like, I really wish that I could refund my time, because this just wasn't good. But you always
Mhm.
want to make sure that you get off onto the right start with your message,
Mhm.
because your message is super powerful, and that's
Mhm.
that's what we're talking about, is this message having power.
Yeah.
It's absolutely powerful. You are the message. And like,
Mhm.
you know what? If you take a lamp and you plug it in into like a
Mhm.
wall,
Mhm.
typically that will turn on, provided, like here we're in FPL. So we got Florida Power and Lights.
Mhm.
So as long as your lights is on, once you turn that lamp, plug that lamp into that wall, you turn it on, it has power. So
Yes,
the moment that you realize just how powerful your life is or your life
mm-hmm,
experiences are,
mm-hmm,
that's when you realize you really tapped into your power because you're a
mm-hmm,
powerful individual. You've tapped into your source when you realize what you went through was worth
mm-hmm.
something. That's a message that you're
That's the
conveying. You
message.
are the light that shines bright. You just need to tap into the source. You're the source. Turn you
Mm-hmm.
on.
Turn you
Activate your
on.
source. That's all you have to
Turn you
do because
on.
you are that message and you are powerful. You
Yes,
just need to realize you're the light. Start shining. Show it off.
yes,
You need
yes,
to do because you're powerful.
yes.
Then like these little lights down here, they got these little dimmers on here. Don't be the don't turn it on dim. Turn it on
Mm-mm.
up.
Turn it on up. Turn
Turn
it
it
on
on.
up. Pull
Mhm.
all those things, all that brilliance
Out.
outside of you. And I know, Tiffany, nobody's talking about this.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about this. You know, they talk about writing books and they talk about this, that, yeah, but
Mhm.
nobody's really talking this real talk. Okay.
Yeah. I need
And
to hear
authors
that.
are over there and they're living and they're struggling through trying
Mhm.
to get their book out and things of
Yeah.
that nature, not
Mhm.
knowing that, hey, I don't have to
Mhm.
reach for what's on the outside. It's in me.
It's
Turn this
in.
power generation up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Turn this
Mhm.
power generation up.
Mhm.
Even when
Mhm.
you don't feel like it, turn it up.
Mhm.
But that
Turn it
comes
up.
with, believing in yourself. That comes
Mhm.
with authenticity. All of
Yeah.
those things flow
Yeah.
together. You see,
Mhm.
you gotta work from that authentic
Yeah.
platform in
Yeah.
order for this to happen. You
Mhm.
got to know
Mhm.
what you're talking about. You
Yeah.
got to use what's inside of you.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know why a lot of times authors they say, "Well, I just don't know
Mhm.
what to do. I don't know how to
Mhm.
write. I got writer's block.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got writer's
Mhm.
block.
Mhm.
That's just a thing of the industry. Everybody
Mhm.
want to coin that. I got
Mhm.
writer's block, but in
Mhm.
actuality,
Mhm.
you know, you don't have writer's block.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
don't have
Mhm.
writer's block. You
Mhm.
just begin right. You have to see your audience. You
Mhm.
have to see that ideal audience. When
Yeah.
you know who you talking to
Mhm.
and you know what their pain points are,
Mhm.
you write
Mhm.
to that person.
Yeah.
You don't have to write to a million people. Just see
Mhm.
that person, see that
That
avatar,
that
see that
person.
person, and you
Mhm.
write to that person
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you write to that person. Okay?
Mhm.
Don't make it,
Mhm.
don't complicate it. Don't make it hard.
Yeah. Right.
Don't make it hard. But,
Mhm.
it's inside.
Mhm.
It's inside
Right.
of them. The
Mhm.
power of your message, authors, the
Yeah.
power of your message is
Mhm.
able to transform lives and
Mhm.
bring that transformation.
Yeah.
It's not that little dab will do you. Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No, because what happens there with the little dab will do you? It's only going to
Mhm.
touch that surface.
It's a little dab.
Yeah, it's a little dab, and what happens? And after that time period has gone, it's going to resurface
Mhm.
again.
Mhm. It
It's
is.
going to
Mhm.
resurface again. People are sick and tired of going through the same things over and over again. There's
Yeah.
people out there that's sick and tired. They want a change for real. They
Mhm.
want to
They
see
need it.
something. They want to experience something. They
Mhm.
want to be on the other side of that situation and that
Mhm.
problem. So authors,
Mhm.
it got to come from you. You
Yeah.
have to have that momentum. You have
Yes.
to, when you even sit down there and start writing, and you
Mhm.
start writing, make sure that you are not conveying that lackadaisical spirit over into your
Mhm.
message,
Right. Right.
or
Right.
that spirit of I don't care, the
Right.
spirit of oh this is hard, the
Mhm.
spirit of
Mhm.
"Ah,
Mhm.
I just don't know what I'm doing." Don't
Yeah.
transfer that over, you know,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
there's power in your message,
It
and that
is.
will dictate how far
Mhm.
that momentum will get. If you don't start the
Mhm.
momentum, Tiffany, what
Yeah.
they don't understand, they have to
Mhm.
start the momentum.
You gotta start.
Nobody could do it for them. The author
Mm-mm.
has to start the momentum. You could
Mhm.
get a PR company, you could get
Mhm.
automation, you could get whatever you want. If you don't start that momentum, if
Mhm.
you don't see it in your mind's eye, if you don't if those things don't happen, that book is dead in the water.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even
You
then, when
have
you
to
said they
turn
got to
that
start,
energy out. Yeah.
they got to
You
start.
Inferno. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come
The
on,
power
Inferno.
of
Is
the
that what
message.
you said? Did you call
Inferno,
it
girl.
Inferno? Come
Inferno.
on.
Inferno. Yes. If you're not excited about something, okay,
Uh, yeah.
how is anybody else gonna get excited?
Mm-mm.
If you
Starts
don't
with you.
put forth that energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Starts
where
with
it
you.
comes with, you have to like what you're doing. We
Yeah.
talked about this on a previous broadcast. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
last week. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be an author, if you say you're an
Mm-hmm.
author, this is not the place to, oh, it's showtime for me.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
You have to love what you're doing because it's going to come a time where that's going
Mm-hmm.
to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that is not a fit for you and you're just doing it for a name or recognition or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you understand? There will be no fire. That fire will go
Yeah.
out.
It's gonna go out. A fire unattended is soon gonna go out.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We are our message. Okay, when
Mm-hmm.
we write a book, we are out that message.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We
Mm-hmm.
are that message,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where that fire comes from. So,
Mm-hmm.
authors, the power of your message. Your
Yeah.
message is very, very important.
It is extremely. You know,
Extremely important. You
it's
know,
very important. Mm-hmm.
and
You
and
gotta
what
get.
is that? Yeah, your message has power. That's what we've been talking about. The power
Mm-hmm.
of your message. Your message has power.
Mm-hmm.
And do not allow that to slip. If you find that your message doesn't have power,
Mm-hmm.
you reconsider.
Yeah. That part.
The
Mm-hmm.
connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we talked about how you take your focus, the things that are your goals, and put them in the middle. So even with that situation,
Mm-hmm.
okay, put your message there. Put your
Mm-hmm.
message there,
Yeah.
and put everything else around there,
Mm-hmm.
and see if
Mm-hmm.
if it lines up.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
lines up with your thinking, if it
Mm-hmm.
lines up with your belief, if it
Mm-hmm.
lines up with your walk, if it
Yeah.
lines up with your talk, if it
Mm-hmm.
lines
Mm-hmm.
up with your purpose,
Come on. Yeah. They need to line up.
it's
They need
got to line up.
to.
It has to come in alignment
Mm-hmm. It
in
has
order for
to.
that to translate over.
It has to.
Yeah,
It's a must. It
yeah.
is definitely a must. Everything has to line up. What you speak, what you say, what you live, all of it has to line up.
Hmm.
Speak and say technically the same thing, but all of it has to line up. I need to be able to, and then like you're saying, speak to that specific person's, get that
Hmm.
one person, you know what? And maybe you even have to speak to you because there is someone
Hmm.
else that's out there that is encountering the same thing that
Yeah,
you're going through. So if that be the case and you're feeling like you have writer's block, okay, I'll help you unblock it. Speak to yourself in whatever
yeah.
the message is that you're talking about, so then you'll be able to come. What would you tell you of how to pull through with this particular situation?
Hmm.
You're talking to your girlfriend or your homeboy or whatever the case may be, and you're telling them what's happening. What advice would you give you in this situation to help pull you through? So talk to you. And then in the process
Yeah.
of you writing about what you would say to you, that's helping somebody else. Give yourself some advice, but it's not really you're really giving it to you. You're giving it to us. In turn, that helps
Hmm.
us. That's going to help pull you through out. It's going to help pull you through. Get it out. You won't have to worry about having your writer's block. You'll
Yeah.
understand how powerful that message is because that's what you would help somebody else with.
And true, it's funny you brought up writer's block. Writer's block is when people start that limiting belief. So here
Mhm,
go limiting belief kick in.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
writer's block, limiting belief. So
mhm,
now I can't think about what to write. They're sitting there. I can't think about what to write.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
with that
mhm.
struggle in their mind,
Yeah.
limiting beliefs, because this is
Mhm.
where it kicks in. Okay,
Yeah. Mhm,
it kicks in here. And that's
mhm,
why they can't flow because the
mhm.
message is supposed to flow.
It should flow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
flow
Mhm,
throughout the book. You remember I told
mhm,
you about that gentleman that I
mhm.
had. The message was all over,
Oh,
chopping,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cut
yeah.
off.
Mhm,
Here,
mhm.
he's
Uh-huh.
talking here in chapter one. I forgot how many. It had to be. It was a long book with a lot of chapters. I think,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe it had 20 chapters.
Uh-huh. So you got chapter 1, chapter 15, chapter 2, chapter 23.
Yeah,
Chapter,
it did not flow. It was just chopped up. You know what I
uh-huh.
mean?
Uh-huh.
And this is what happened. Here kicks in those limited beliefs because
Mhm.
as they're writing,
Mhm.
it's in the back of their mind. That's why you need to go see Tiffany if you have
Mhm.
problems with that. You know,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
matters of the heart. Here
Mhm.
it comes in. Well, maybe I'm not good enough to write this book. You know,
Mhm.
maybe
Mhm.
nobody's going to buy this book. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm writing this book.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
all of those thoughts are coming into their mind. So now
Yeah.
they're battling with that. They
Mhm.
battling with
Mhm.
that. You know,
Mhm.
every, like I tell you, my routine is before I get in the presence of others, I get
Yeah.
in the presence, of God and myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
prepare myself for each day.
Yes. Yes.
So when those things come and they try to come into my mind,
Mhm.
cast down those
Mhm.
imagination and all
Mhm.
those things, and
Yeah.
speaking to myself, Gertrude,
Mhm.
you will do this.
You
Okay,
gonna do this.
you're
Mhm.
going to do this.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
you're going to do this. You got this.
Mhm.
You
I
know
can,
what
I
to do.
shall, I will. Mhm.
That's right. And pull
Mhm.
it up out of you. You got to speak to yourself.
Mhm.
So when those
Mhm.
things do come, you'll be able to walk through. We talked
Mhm.
about oppositions and fears the other day. You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
we talked about that on yesterday. Those
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
But those where
Mhm.
the writer's blocks come, when
Yeah.
those things start bombarding people's mind and they start
Mhm.
second guessing themselves. Oh, well,
Mhm.
maybe I shouldn't write this way because
Mhm.
maybe that person won't, because you done told your vision and your goal to sister girl, okay?
Right.
Or you should have kept it to yourself. All right?
Uh-huh.
Keep it to
Uh-huh.
yourself. Or like the other client I had that time, and he
Uh-huh.
said, well, I can't write this book because my parents are still alive. Well, if it's
Right.
your truth,
Right. Right.
if it's your truth, you know, and I'll tell you, I don't even remember what the book was about, even if he told me, you know. And that was somebody referred over to me. It
It
didn't
wasn't
even get to be
memorable.
my client because he
Uh-huh.
couldn't write the book because his mother and father was
Mhm.
still alive.
Mhm.
All kinds of situations like that. Your message is important, but got to get it out the mind, Tiffany. Got to get it out the
Yes.
mind. It's the
Have
mind
to.
thing. It
Have
comes to
to.
bombard people, and
Mhm.
when they start taking down. They start. Well, I don't know if I should say this because this is going to offend, and this, and
Mhm. Mhm.
there's ways of writing where you don't
Yeah.
offend people. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
ways of writing where you don't offend people,
Mhm.
even in things that you say. You have to be careful with that. But you'll know
Mhm.
how to phrase. Good morning, Cecilia. How you
Good
doing
morning.
today? You have to learn how to phrase your words
Have
and your
to.
message. So
Have to. Yeah.
you're not killing somebody's spirit. Because I talked about
Mhm.
that, I think, on the previous broadcast
You don't want to
about
kill a
killing
spirit.
somebody's spirit. Don't ever kill anybody's spirit. That's why
Mhm.
you have to know who you are. You have to know your
Mhm.
identity. You have to know the power of your not only spoken voice, but
Mhm.
also your written message.
Yeah.
You have
Mhm.
to know it because you could kill somebody in the spirit. Now,
Mhm.
even though you might write a book that will take care of a situation, but you
Mhm.
also bring a solution. You
Mhm.
also bring um, a healing. You also bring
Mhm.
restoration. You bring
Mhm.
those things through your message.
Mhm.
But if your
Mhm.
message is, there's a mindset thing we were talking
Yeah.
about. If your
Yeah.
message is, oh, do this, do that, they already know that they got a problem. You don't
Right.
have
Right.
to
Right. Right.
tell them that they have a problem. They're looking for a solution to their problems,
That.
things like that.
Mhm.
So your message has power, authors. Your message has
Mhm.
power. So be
Mhm.
careful about how you write your message
Yeah.
because it has
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. Your
Yeah,
message does have power because you
yeah,
are the powerful individual. You better learn that. I mean,
yeah.
you did it again. You did it again. You came in heavy.
Oh, what that do? Okay. Yeah,
You
it's
came in.
true. It's true.
It
We
is.
got to get them before they go into holiday mode,
Uh-huh. You gotta catch. You gotta
before
get
they
them.
go into holiday mode because we're trying to set a path for them that they
Yeah.
could walk straight through into this new
Uh-huh.
year and drop
Mhm.
that baggage. Drop that
Mhm.
bag. Start dropping them bags now.
Mhm.
Okay,
Let it go.
start dropping
Mhm.
those bags now. because
Mhm.
the people that we talk to,
Mhm.
after the broadcast and different
Right.
things of that nature, you know, we're trying to set them up for success.
Mhm. Absolutely.
We're
Success
trying
is
to
the
set
goal.
those people up for
Mhm.
success.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know?
Having a successful life, having a successful mindset,
Yeah.
that is the goal. We want you to
Hmm.
be a successful individual, and if that means we got to reprogram you, you have to
Yeah.
get you to let go of those limiting beliefs, baby. That's what we're gonna do because that's
I
what's
think
needed.
that was one of them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because that's the next one right there, Tiffany. You already said
Hmm.
reprogram the subconscious mind. That's it.
Hmm.
Your
Hmm.
message is supposed to reprogram people's subconscious mind. And that's
Hmm.
a great responsibility that an author has. That's why an author cannot have, certain things going on in their lives where they'll
Yeah.
take and they'll transfer those things over to the
Hmm.
people that already have a problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
They already have a problem. They don't need your problem.
Hmm. I need
Okay?
solution.
This is a big responsibility.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
people have to know, authors have to know who they are and the power that they have,
Hmm.
because they're
Hmm.
standing there writing a message, and these messages will cause a transformation,
Hmm.
either in a
Hmm.
good way or a
Hmm.
bad way.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And if we say that we are, problem solvers,
Hmm.
we have to make sure that we do it in a right way, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But, you're known by the fruit that you bear, right? You're known
That
by
part,
a tree is known by the fruit, right?
fruit is there, so that's
Yeah,
why we deal with
you're known
the
by that,
root.
right? I had to go there. I had to go there. Okay, so from a good tree, supposed to be good fruit,
Hmm.
but from a
This is
bad tree,
very
what's
good.
gonna happen? That's gonna be
Hmm.
bad fruit.
Hmm. You're gonna end up having to pluck it up.
Pluck it up. And
Hmm.
right now in these broadcasts, we plucking up some roots,
Pluck it
some
up.
trees that have been planted because of
Mhm.
stinking thinking,
Yeah. Hmm.
and people not really thinking and knowing who they are,
Hmm.
taking the mask off,
Hmm.
taking the mask off because you know they have to know who they are, Tiffany. They
They need
gotta
to know
know who
who
they are. They
they
have
need
to
to.
know their power.
It's a must. It's a
It's a
must.
must.
And like we're saying, to reprogram the subconscious mind. In order
Mhm.
to reprogram
Your
to
morning, Regina.
reprogram something, that means you've already been programmed to something.
Oh yeah.
So there are some things that you have learned in your home during your upbringing, or there are some people that you are around, whether it's been in school or you are at a playground, at work or church, some social event.
Hmm.
You have learned some type of behavior, and it has programmed your thinking,
Hmm.
and it has trained you in a specific way for
Hmm.
you to do certain things. So that means that you're programmed to do it in a specific way. So with that thing, those are things that you have learned to do over time.
Hmm.
And some of the things hasn't been super healthy. Some
Hmm.
things may have been super healthy for you to do. But the things that were unhealthy, you need to reprogram yourself to
Hmm.
make sure that you do it in a healthier way, even if it comes to eating.
Yeah.
Reprogram yourself to know that that's not the healthiest of choices for me to do. I need to eat a little bit better. So that
Hmm.
means that you have to reprogram yourself to not eat the collard greens, the hog mogs,
Yeah.
the steaks, and you might just have to, or if you eat them, you're eating it in moderation.
That's
You just
right.
have to retrain yourself to do certain things a certain way. If that means
Hmm.
that I want to get up, I wanted to put on makeup this morning, I wanted to be cute today, I
Hmm.
didn't get a chance to do that, but that was only because there are certain things that end up happening that I didn't get a chance to give you guys this super cute me. Now, am I pretty? Yes. But that means I
That's
have to
it.
reprogram myself to do so. I haven't had my cup of coffee yet. But in order for me to
Okay.
get these certain things, that means that I have to reprogram myself to say,
Yeah.
okay, this is what you got to do. You got to do it this way. I didn't do my schedule that I normally do. This is a certain way that I do things every single day for me to be
Hmm.
able either get up and I can either put makeup on, I don't have none on. I can either put on makeup, I can make sure I dress myself in a certain way, or I can have my cup of coffee. If I need to go out for a walk, if I need, there's certain things that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to do that, there's a program that I have to follow. There was a schedule that I had to set up. There are certain things I have to do to reprogram myself to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that this is the way that I want to see things happen. So the way that was the way that I was doing things, it wasn't working. Now I got to find a new method. So therefore I have to reprogram because that program wasn't working. It
True.
just wasn't
True.
working. There's a thing that I have to do to retrain my brain. And in order for us to be effective, in order for us to get that powerful message out, in order for us to share and showcase who we are, it is imperative that we reprogram our mind, that we shift our mind, that we retrain our brain to get things done in a specific way so that we can see the fruit. Because I don't want to be that tree that's plucked up. I want my roots to be tended to, water me,
Yes.
fertilize me, make me so that I'm a better individual, that I'm able to produce some fruits. I don't want to be that tree that has one apple on it. I want to be a healthy apple tree that you can continuously come to
Yes.
a whole bunch of apples from. I want to nourish you. Apples are good. It's good nourishment. And so I want to be able to be a source of your nourishment. So that means that I need to make sure that I feed myself. And if that means I got to cut away some things or I have to add things to it, it's worth it for me to be that powerful individual that I want to portray to other people, or that I want to be for me, period. It's
True.
imperative.
Yeah, it's imperative. It's
Mhm.
imperative. And it's so important, Tiffany. It's
Yeah.
so important
Hmm.
because people are at decisions right now. It's a life or death decision. Okay.
Hmm.
I mean that
Hmm.
they're gonna necessarily leave this earth, but life and death
Hmm.
situation
Yeah.
in their daily lives.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
because they're tired of the same old, same old. They're
Hmm.
tired of the rigmarole. They're
Yeah.
tired of going around the block when you could have just went around down the street. They're tired of that.
Right.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
they need
Could have
these.
went next door.
Yeah, next door. They need these answers, and it's
Hmm.
so very important.
Hmm.
And to be that producer. You know,
Hmm.
out of the core, just like you're saying, that tree that's
Hmm.
always, giving out good fruit,
Yeah.
producing good fruit,
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
people's lives will change from
Hmm.
step to step, wherever they may be, okay?
Hmm.
Or the deeper dive, whatever it
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's how, when you write your message and you write your book, people are going to
Hmm.
be anxiously awaiting that next book,
Yeah.
even before you even got finished writing that book,
Hmm.
because that
Hmm.
book was so good. That book
Hmm.
touched me. That book
Hmm.
moved me. That book
Hmm.
brought transformation.
It
Oh,
did
I'm going to
something.
tell so and so about this book,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because it really did something to me. You
Hmm.
need your book to really shake people up, to
Yes.
really do
Yes.
something to them you
Hmm.
know be effective. That's why the
Yeah.
message is so important. That's
Yeah.
why the
Yeah.
author has to make sure that
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they are in tune with themselves, in
Hmm.
tune with their message, in
Yeah.
tune with their audience, and not
Hmm.
out there just writing junk or just
Hmm.
writing to be writing, because it's so
Right.
important, Tiffany. It's
Hmm.
so important. you know we're
Hmm.
in the place where we as authors are transforming lives.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, we
Hmm.
are, through our message, reprogramming the subconscious mind.
Hmm. Hmm.
you know we're in that place, and we have to be responsible. We have to
Yes.
be responsible and see
Hmm.
it that way.
Hmm.
This is a great responsibility, a
It
great
is.
responsibility to
Hmm.
be able not only to change one person's life, but
Hmm.
also that household.
Yeah.
And check
Hmm.
this out, the
Hmm.
generations
Hmm. Hmm. They're all going to be affected by it.
all going
Hmm.
to be affected by it.
Hmm.
You see, this
Hmm.
is the part of, even when you're writing those goals and those visions for your book, okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
Writing is deep, girl. It's deep,
Hmm.
okay?
It is. It
You got
is.
to take all that, you got
Hmm.
to take all that into consideration.
You do. You do.
It's a book writing journey. It's a
It's a whole
journey.
journey. It's a journey. It
It's a
is.
journey. Everybody
Mhm.
got a story to tell, but
Everybody does.
nobody's talking about this. Nobody's
Mhm.
talking about
Yeah.
this. Oh, I'm just gonna write a book. I'm just
Well,
gonna
we
just
won't talk
write it, and
about it.
I'm not gonna give no thought to it. I'm just gonna write it because I need to make me some money. Okay, I need to buy this. I need to buy that. No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Hmm.
no, no.
Uh-huh.
The book,
Hmm.
the money will come when you serve
It's coming.
people and
It's
you serve
coming.
them well. Okay,
Hmm. Absolutely.
serve people. You just go about. You don't even think about the money. You
Hmm.
don't even think about that. You
Hmm.
think about serving people and serving them well because
Hmm.
that, take it the truth. That's not your source.
Come on.
That book is not your source.
Come
And people,
on.
I done totally lost them. I done
Hmm.
totally lost them. Tiffany,
Hmm. Well, we're gonna find them.
I don't think I'm even gonna go deep into that. I'm not gonna even go, but that's not your source.
Okay.
You know it, it's not the source, right?
But why won't you go on and tap in? Somebody might need to hear it because we say that they don't know. This is a whole learning station. You might want to hip them to it.
God is the source.
Let me
But
put
when
you.
you
Let me put
serve
my scuba gear on.
people, yeah,
Come
when
on.
you serve his people and serve them well,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
always gonna have, okay? When you
Absolutely.
serve people and serve them well, you're always going to have.
Absolutely.
You're never gonna be without. You're never gonna have to struggle. You're never gonna have no lack. You serve
Right.
people and serve them well.
Right.
You know,
Right.
everywhere
Right.
you look, you serve people. You
Yeah.
serve them through your message. You serve them with
Uh-huh.
your book. You take
Uh-huh.
time out and you
Mhm.
write that book the way it's supposed to be written and not just throw garbage. Because
Yeah.
why are you going to throw garbage to somebody else when you're not garbage? You're not garbage. You remember I said a tree is known by its fruit. If you're a good tree and you
Mhm.
have good fruit, why are you going to write your message that's just junk? You never gave any thought to it. You're just
Right.
throwing it out there
Right.
just to say you got a book out there. Oh, I'm an
Mm-mm.
author. I
Right.
got this
Right.
book
Right. Mm-mm.
to
Mm-mm.
reprogram lives, to
Mhm.
shift people's mindset, to
Mhm.
change a family's life, to change generations
Yeah. Mhm.
through your message,
Mhm.
to start
Mhm.
that movement.
Mhm. Mhm.
People don't
That's
think
a
like that.
powerful thing to know that you're a whole life changer. That you're a whole life enhancer. Your life can
Mm-hmm.
change somebody's life. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a beautiful thing to know
Mm-hmm.
that you're that powerful of an individual. And is that scary for certain people to understand?
Yeah.
It probably is scary for them, but it's a beautiful thing to recognize that your life matters and it
Mm-hmm.
impacts somebody else's. Some of us are moms, some of us are dads, brothers, sisters, cousins. You have someone who means something to you around you. So you
Mm-hmm.
kind of want to portray your life in a certain kind of way to make sure that you're a positive person for that little sister or that sibling that you have or your child. You always want to make sure that your life is something that they can look over and they say, "Oh my God, man, that's my big brother, that's my big sister, that's
Mm-hmm.
my." You're proud of them. You got to make sure that you really understand for real. You're not doing that for just them, though. Make
Yeah.
sure that your life is something that everybody is going to be pleased with. But even if
Yeah.
everybody isn't pleased, I want to be pleased with the life that I live.
Yes.
Life that I live and the service that I give that others are going to be pleased with.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah, you're a powerful individual. Yeah, and they need to understand
Yeah.
and when I'm saying you're universally that
Yeah.
you're a powerful person.
Yeah.
You
Every author is. They got
anyone
to know that.
anyone who got ears and that can hear this, anyone
Yeah.
who has a body that can hear or that can receive. I don't care if I
Mm-hmm.
have to find it in sign language and put it to you. Your life matters. You're a
Yeah.
powerful individual.
Powerful, powerful,
Mhm.
and that's why can't just write junk like we were talking about even with the message and stuff like that. I was just
Mhm.
looking at something at the top of this flash, and it brought to this conversation
Mhm.
about people having bitterness and
Yeah.
anger and all this stuff in their lives. Get
Mhm.
help before you write your book. Okay,
Yeah.
get help. It's
Ouch.
not about you. It's about your audience. Your
Mhm.
audience
Mhm.
don't need to know that. They don't
Mhm.
really, and the thing is, they don't really care. They have a
Mhm.
problem. Okay,
Mhm.
they have a
Mhm.
problem that they need a solution to. They
Mhm.
don't need to hear
Mhm.
your problem because
Right.
they don't
Right.
care about that. They care about them.
Mhm.
That's just
Mhm.
the way it is.
They need to get out of it. Mhm. True
Get
statement.
out of it, yeah.
Mhm.
And they miss it,
They
and it
they
opens
gonna catch
up.
it.
Yeah, it opens up these possibilities. Your
Uh-huh.
message, the power of your message opens up all of these possibilities.
Mhm.
There's a lot out there, a lot of possibilities, y'all, out there. Your message, if you allow your message to just, flow from your core, it's going to open up, so many possibilities to you, for
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
so many.
Mhm.
And when these opportunities open up, here's another thing. When these opportunities open up that's surrounding your message, don't just
Mhm.
sit back there and say,
Mhm.
oh, I don't know if I could do this. Go walk in, okay? Because
Walk.
you got to walk on
Mhm.
through.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
will you will get to know it, like the old people say, by and by, but just walk on through. Can't miss these opportunities.
You gonna know by and by. That's funny. That just struck
By
a
and
chord
by,
with me.
yeah. And you see, Tiffany, you see this energy we done brought today? This
Uh-huh.
energy, we done
Yeah,
shifted the atmosphere. Because you remember how I told
absolutely.
you it's raining like cats and dogs?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's been cloudy
Mhm.
for 2 days. Well, girl,
Yeah.
the sun's shining so brightly out there now, we done
Is
shifted
it?
the atmosphere. That's what we
That's
tell
not
you,
shit.
authors. You can
That's not
shift the
shifting.
atmosphere.
Mhm. Mhm. Your
You can shift
whole
the
atmosphere
atmosphere.
shifting. Mhm.
The whole
Mhm.
atmosphere shifting.
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
power of the message. But it's going
It
to
is.
open up those possibilities.
Uh-huh.
It's going to open up different avenues where that author could get in there and, and serve their people
Mhm. Mhm.
in different
Mhm.
levels. Because we're
Mhm.
talking about levels.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Yeah.
different ways to, be able to interact,
Mhm.
with an audience. Yeah, Regina, it's so many
Mhm.
possibilities.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you
Mhm.
do. You get help before you write the book. Yes, you got to get help because
Mhm.
I'm telling you, people aren't teaching this. They're not teaching this.
Mhm.
They're not teaching this.
Mhm. Mhm. They're
You
not.
know,
Mhm. But they
they're
got to
not
be open to
teaching this.
possibility. They
Yeah,
need to be open. Even if they ain't teaching it, it's a good thing that we have this platform over here
yeah,
so that you can understand you're gonna get some teaching over here. You're gonna get some good
yeah.
teaching over here. So you can't say that I didn't know, that I don't know doesn't really flow
Mm-hmm.
over here. It
Nope.
really doesn't. So I didn't know I was well, you can't hold me accountable for something that I didn't know. If you tune into this show, I promise you that that
Yep.
I don't know isn't going to be in your testimony anymore. And even if it's something that you felt like we didn't even go on the deeper dive as to giving you a better explanation, that's what the chat's for. That's what the DMs are for. That's what
Mm-hmm.
our links is for. Give us a shout out. Say, hey, I need to
Mm-hmm.
know more about this. I want to know. That's why we share our calendars with you. And I need to make sure I put that on there. But that's why we share those things with you so you can have a better understanding. All that getting, you're going to get an understanding.
Oh
And when you're turning your passion into profit, if you over here on this side, we're gonna make sure you have all the possibilities because we want you on the better side of that. And when
yeah.
we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the open up to possibilities, I'm going to say, I'm going to add an extra word in there and say to open up to positive possibilities
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of things can happen. You can apply for a loan. It's possible you can be approved for a loan. It's possible you can be approved for a scholarship. There's a whole lot of possibilities, but
Absolutely.
we want to make sure that those possibilities are positive, that, like, I want the better side of, those
Yeah.
things. I want to be on the other side of that. So when I say that it was possible for me to go apply for that loan, I applied for it. I had the courage to do it, and I was
Mm-hmm.
approved for it. And so it's possible. It's possible for me to complete school. I
Yeah.
went and applied for the loan for school, or I applied for a scholarship, and I'm able to do it. I'm able to get the degree. That's something that is possible for me to get. It's possible for me to write that book. It is possible for me to be that business owner. It's possible for me to even lose weight or gain it if that's something I do. Anything is possible The catch is you just got to believe it. So, and these words that we tell you, your words are power. Your words
Yes.
are that you're putting out there into the earth, into the atmosphere. Whatever you speak, you're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to manifest eventually. Rather, it's something that you see right now, or it's something that you see later on. But we need you to be open to the positive possibilities and believe in whatever it is you say, whatever it is that you
Yes.
see. Believe it because it's getting ready to come to pass. So if you want something positive and you want to be open, I
Yes.
want you to be open to the positive possibilities of what's getting ready to happen, because anything's possible. Well, again, it's possible that you may not be approved. It's possible something bad can happen, but think on the positive side of it, because if we think of that
Positive.
negative stuff, then don't get mad when you see it, because you thought it and then you
Oh yeah.
spoke it and now it became a reality.
Yes.
So that's something that you spoke. So we want you to be open to the positive possibilities because anything is possible.
That's good, because that's a good thing that you brought out there, because that's true. Because your thoughts have power too.
Absolutely, they
They
do.
are very powerful. The
Hmm.
positive possibilities.
Hmm.
Because
So
what
do you
you,
think?
yeah, because what you think, what happens?
Hmm.
Then you visualize.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then what? You
Hmm.
start talking.
Hmm. Now you
Okay.
see it. I'm gonna act
Then
it
you
out.
see it, because that seed then
Hmm.
got planted in the heart.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's best to, yeah, those
Hmm.
positive possibilities. So
Yeah.
those things get planted in the heart. So then you could bear those good
Yeah.
fruit. So
Come
you can take that
on.
message, okay? Take that
Yeah.
message to bring
Mhm.
that transformation to that reader. That's
Yeah.
going to affect that household. That's going to
Absolutely.
affect the family and generations. You know,
Right.
generations to come.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and from that one seed.
It's the
See,
one.
from that thought. That's another thing.
It's
Okay,
that
that goes
one.
with those limiting beliefs and all those things.
That's
Okay,
so
you get in the
powerful.
presence of others, what happened? You get in the presence of God and you get yourself
Yeah.
together. You get yourself
Yeah.
together in the morning. If you
Mhm.
feeling some kind of way, matter of
Yeah.
fact, you don't even drag yesterday's mess over into the next day. Okay,
Don't.
if
Mhm.
you feeling
It
some
worries
kind of
about
way, it's
itself.
some things that people have to do, right? They
Mhm.
have to do some
Mhm.
self maintenance. They talk
Yeah.
about all this self care, taking care
Mhm.
of this, the skin,
Mhm.
and I got to take care of my hair. I got
Mhm.
to get the
Yeah.
massage. All those things are good, right?
Uh-huh.
All those
Uh-huh.
things are good. But how about
Mhm.
the mind? Take some
The
self care with the
mind.
mind. Get rid of
Yeah.
all that stinking thinking,
Mhm. Yeah.
okay?
You got to
That
be.
you're gonna, yeah, that's gonna be in that message.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we take them in a deeper dive. You
Yeah,
know,
we do.
that's
Mhm.
why I call myself, okay, an inspirational book coach. I'm
Uh-huh.
not a motivational speaker. I'm
Uh-huh.
not motivational at all, because
Uh-huh.
motivation, it deals with the flesh. It deals with
Uh-huh.
the surface.
Uh-huh.
Okay? But
Mhm.
what we do, Tiffany,
Mhm.
and you here with me. You know, this
Mhm.
is divine connection. Okay, there we go. You talking about the heart. The heart matters.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We're not motivational at all. We
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
inspirational, because
Mhm.
we go into the root and we go
Mhm.
and pluck those things out.
Yeah,
We're gonna
absolutely.
pluck those old trees out.
Mhm.
We're gonna
Mhm.
pluck that old mind
Mhm.
thinking out.
Mhm.
Those limiting beliefs.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're plucking those things up, because you
Mhm.
cannot go into 2022
Cannot.
thinking the same thing that you've been thinking last
Mhm.
year,
Mhm.
10 years ago, 20
Yeah.
years ago, and beyond.
Yeah. You
Things got
can't.
to change. You got to
It
let them
has
go.
to. It
You got
has to.
to let them go.
You
And the
gotta let it
best
go.
thing to do is let them go right now.
Mhm. You have
Change
to.
the character, change the
Mhm.
speak, your
Mhm.
speaking pattern. And it starts
Mhm.
with your thinking pattern.
It starts there. It
Yeah,
does. It's that mind. You got to shift that mind, because it's
yeah,
that one thought. It's that one thought that is that one seed that
yeah.
manifests a whole harvest. So you have to
A
be
whole
careful
harvest.
about the things that what you think on, because so man thinks,
So
so
it
is
is.
he. So you have to be very careful of the things that you think on, because those things that you think on, you're going to end up acting it out. There's
Mm-hmm.
consequences to whatever it is you do. So especially if it's a negative thought, here's an extreme thing. If I'm thinking you've made me mad, you done pissed me off, Now here it is. I want to come do something to you. I end up getting into a fight with you, or I'm abusive to you. There's a consequence that happens behind that. So now you don't call the police on me. Now I'm in trouble with the law. Now I got a record. Now this record that I got has prevented me from being the individual that I want to be, because now if I want to present myself to the public, or if I want to be involved with school or certain stuff that I want to do, now that this is on my record, I can't do that because it has prevented me, because now I have a domestic charge on me. Now I have some abuse charge that's on me. And now that's always on me. That's always going to be attached to me. However, if I would have thought that thing through, and I would have thought through my consequences, you got to line up, you got to count the cost before you do stuff. Certain things you need to make sure that you count up the cost to make sure, is this really worth it if I go act on it? Is this worth it? All these things that you think about, these are seeds that you're planting out, because you're going to end up acting out. And it's very important that you shift your mind, because your mind is that powerful that you have the ability to shift it. If I feel like I'm mad at something, I have the power within me to say, we're not thinking on that. That's not going to happen.
That's right.
See how powerful your mind is. Yes. You have the ability to think on something negative and you can shift your thing. You have the ability to think something positive and find something negative. Your mind is powerful.
Very
so
powerful.
You have to be careful of how you deal with stuff, because what you're thinking on, you're going to end up acting on. And so you have to be very careful. You got to be very mindful of the things you do.
Got to be very mindful. And you know, another thing is, we don't have original thoughts. We don't have original thoughts. They either come from one or two places, either from God or from the devil. Okay, and we have the power to cast those things down and not take them into ourselves. Okay, and not let it be a part of us. Okay, because if we think on those things too long, they become a part of us. You got to recognize it. Is it a good fruit or is it a bad fruit?
It's either or.
Okay, it's either or. Get rid of them. Don't let that come inside, because we already talked about writing from the core. Okay, and you know, those root of bitterness, those roots of abandonment, those roots of you know, self-pity, those roots of anger, all those things that buried inside of there. And now, since we have the power as authors to shift some things, shift mindsets, reprogram minds, you know, transform generations through our messages and different things. Now we bring that into another area. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Okay.
You got to be careful what voice you listen to.
You know, we're not thinking about, oh, we're going to do this in 2022. No, this is what the programs has always been about.
Yeah.
You know, or this is what this program has if you've been listening, always been about, you know, always. Get to that root and plucking it up. In 2022, you can't bring those things over, you know, from 2021. It has to change. It has to shift. And that brings us to, we got two more. Come on. Releasing the worries and fears of your audience, because through your message, you're supposed to release those worries and the fears, because your audience do have worries and they do have fears. Okay, and you through your message is supposed to release those things. Okay, so it's gonna cause them to be able, because you know, it's already a know, like, and trust factor.
They're
going to begin to trust you to take them across, across, you know, through something.
Over, under, around, and through.
Around it. Okay? To get them to their solution. That's how powerful your message has to be. Because now, you know, you helping them to let go of something that they've been holding on to for so long. And now what? They're trusting you to do that for them through your message. That's how powerful your message is. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you can't write anything. That's
Yeah.
why you can't have worries and fears if you
Mm-hmm.
addressing other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can. Because
You
they
can't.
already have worries and fears themselves. They got things that they have that's bottled up. Um, and they now have some type of form of resentment. So when you bottle up
Mhm.
things, it only releases some form of resentment. And they
Yes.
need you to be able to filter them through some of the resentment that they may be having. They need
Yes.
you to help them pull through what's going on. I've already said before, your pain is somebody else's path. They need you to be their solution. You're my antidote. Yeah, I need you. I done gotten bit by this snake and I need the antidote. Your book is what's going to be my antidote
Yes.
for me to get through. This this is what I need. And I need you to be this powerful individual that's showing me that it is possible for me to get over this. So I can be released of all this worrying and fears because we spoke of this yesterday. All
Hmm.
that worrying and fears, that's toxic to us
Oh
because
yeah.
that hurts our bodies. It hurts our minds. That stresses us out.
Yes.
So like you don't want that. I don't like when my eye twitches and stuff. And certain time it has happened to me. Like
Hmm.
if I'm stressed out and I'm worried, my eyes start doing one of these little numbers right here. So I'm wondering what, and I don't even realize it. And I'm like, that's stress. So then when my body starts doing certain stuff and I start doing, I'm like, now I got to go on the evaluation. That's the purpose of being able to pay attention though. So now I'm
Hmm.
like, I didn't realize that I was stressed out about something. Now I got to go through evaluation station. What am I worried about? What am I fearful for?
Yes.
Something happened because my
Evaluation
body
station.
is
I like
reacting.
that.
But
Yeah.
now I got to figure it out though, because sometimes certain things just start happening and I didn't
Yeah.
realize that I was worried or stressed out or fearful of something.
Hmm.
So now, but if you're paying attention, then you get the opportunity to say, like, oh, now I can pinpoint that. And,
Hmm.
but I was able to recognize that. Now I'm worried about this situation. Now I got to put a remedy to it because now my body is reacting and God dog it. I'm not going to the hospital. I ain't going to have no heart attack. I ain't going to do nothing. But me thinking enough of myself, wanting to empower myself, I found somebody's book and it helped me through that fear.
Yeah.
That thing that I was worried about because somebody was bold enough to write it and share
Yes.
with me. Now I am able to overcome. And I'm like, thank you for that. I'm grateful. So
True. That's
sharing your
true.
powerful message helps me to not worry or not to be fearful. So
That is so true. That is so true. And that
yeah.
goes to the next one, the one that we're going to wrap up with. Enable your audience to see.
To see.
They
Mhm,
have to see. They have to see that possibility, that positive possibility, as you said, that positive opportunity, that positive solution. They have to see it. They have to
mhm,
see it, you
mhm,
know. And once, you're taking them through your message and you're holding their hand, now they could begin to see it where they could, go into that final stage of that
mhm.
transformation, whether it's hope, whether it's healing, whether it's a
Mhm.
how to, whether
Yeah.
it's some type of inspiration
Mhm.
where that tree get plucked up
Yeah.
because it shifted their mindset. Not even shift their
Mhm,
mindset. It then
mhm,
plucked up that root. Now it then changed
mhm.
their mindset.
Yeah.
And they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I didn't know. All these years I thought it was that way, but no. Now I see that
Yeah.
wasn't the way.
Mhm,
That
mhm,
wasn't the way
mhm,
to
mhm.
enlighten their understanding,
Yeah.
because that's what our message is supposed to do.
Mhm.
Enlighten their understanding.
Have
Okay,
to. Mhm,
and that's
mhm,
and that's a hard thing when we're talking about enlighten the understanding. That's a
mhm,
hard thing. That's a
mhm.
that's a deep connection. That's
It
not a
is.
mind thing, because in the
Mhm.
mind, your mind could shift and change from time to time, day to day,
It
moment to
can.
moment. But once
Mhm.
it's in the heart, that understanding, they get that understanding. Get wisdom, the principal thing. But with
Yeah.
all I get an understanding. Understanding.
Understanding.
When
You
people
got to.
understand something, it's it's
Mhm.
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. It's a
Hmm.
total wrap, but you want to always get an understanding. 'Cause I don't like for someone to leave the scene
Hmm.
of being in an encounter with me and you not have a clear understanding
Yeah.
as to what's going on. Favorite phrase I always say. So just to be crystal and clear. I don't want to just be crystal clear. I want to be crystal and clear
Yeah.
that whatever it is that I'm trying to convey to you, you understood what it is, or whatever it is that you were trying to say to me. I need to make sure that I understand it. I'll repeat it back to you in a minute.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to see what it is that you're trying to do. And it is imperative, especially for me, if I'm trying to help you rid toxins, if I'm trying to help you set goals, I need to make sure I got a clear understanding of who you are, where it is you're trying to go, what you want to do, and if you're trying to write a book, there needs to be a clear understanding of what it is, where you're trying to go. Where's this journey that you're taking me on? Are we in a fairyland? Is there a story? Even if you are doing some type of fictional action book, you still got to take me through it. I need to understand Batman is one of my favorite characters, but they'll take me through a journey of him. Even when they went backwards to start from this is where he's at now and go backwards to see the life of him and how he started, they still took you through somewhere. They knew what they were doing. So then the next one comes, oh, now I understand it more. Now that's how things start. But it was a whole journey, and it makes you go through it. So help me to see whatever it is that I'm supposed to see. Make sure you make it clear. It has to be able to.
Yep. Make it clear. So I hope that, we brought value to you, and you don't forget to share this broadcast out. And, these are some things that are very important, authors, that we pray that you adapt this year and know that the power of your message, not only know, but understand that there's power in your message. Your message has the power to transform not only somebody's life, but the family and also generations. And it can also reprogram people's minds from one thing to a better thing. Okay?
Yeah.
From death and destruction to life and peace. Put it that way. So, like I said, if this message has, been a blessing to you today, don't forget to share this out. Don't forget to share this message out. And we're going over to the Coach's Corner, and we look to see you tomorrow, again with another powerful message. So, get somebody on the line, get somebody over here so they can hear what we're going to be talking about on tomorrow, because tomorrow is the Christmas day. You remember our Christmas program and everything.
I'm ready.
So,
I'm ready.
You ready, Tiffany?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, and remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.
Grace and peace.